Welcome and welcome back, you lovely mother lovers. I'm hoping I have sound. I think I have sound. If I don't, do let me know. Okay, before we begin with anything, because tonight we will be reacting to, of course, why men and women aren't dating in 2025. I have my own opinions on that, but let's see what's his name? Who's this guy? I'm really bad with names. If you didn't figure that so far, you will at some point. Uh, Denmo, then at Denmo Social. So I did put his link in the description. But this morning, because I got used to the idea of posting a community post at least a day, because I am trying to build a community. So do join. You're more than welcome to join. And of course, I'm not ready, mate. I'm never ready. Cool. Let's see what our AI host has to say. Hey, welcome to the show. We're live already. Say hello.
Welcome. Let's do it.
Okay. You know what I posted today? No one is coming to rescue you. You got to move. What do you have to say about that?
It's a bold statement. Sometimes we all need a reminder that we're in charge of our own progress.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that?
I'd say it's a no-nonsense push. It might feel tough, but it can also inspire action.
Makes sense. And you know what I'm gonna react to tonight? It's why men and women aren't dating in 2025.
That's a spicy topic.
Mm-hmm.
It should spark some interesting conversations.
I'm hoping. What do you think? So be short and be as direct as possible. What do you think? What are your options?
Dating's complicated. People might be prioritizing careers or personal growth over relationships. Maybe societal expectations have shifted. How do you see it?
I think social media is playing definitely a big role. And yeah, society has changed a bit. Quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely reshaping how people connect and interact.
Hello, Sad. Oh, my man Sad was in the house. Ah, cool. I'm not sure if Sad disappeared already or not, but thank you for the hello, mate. I know you're always welcome on my live stream. So let's jump into the watch along / reaction for tonight. So let's see what we're gonna find out.
50% of men between the age of 18 to 24 have never approached a woman in their entire life, and 70% of men have not approached a woman in the last 12 months. Where do we even begin, guys? This is like rock
In the pub, hugging each other and having a pint, or watching Andrew Tate videos.
bottom when it comes to men dating and getting the dating results that they want. So things are looking pretty bad, okay? But there's actually so many reasons why men are no longer approaching women and why women are unsatisfied in their current relationships. You can talk about schmovid and how over the last couple of years we've become very isolated, and how daily and weekly socialization has decreased by about 20% between young men and young women. Most people now use online dating. They're apprehensive of
Which is quite shit, and it's already demonstrated that women get chosen more than men. Honestly, I'm out of the blue on this one because I never used online dating apps, so I'm going through what these people are telling me. So if you have experience with online dating apps, do share with me because I'm clueless.
starting a conversation with somebody because they're afraid of getting rejected and humiliated and shamed on TikTok. And there's all kinds of guys that are simply so addicted to video games, Instagram, and online content that they don't
Okay.
actually have the capacity or discipline to do something as simple as go and start a conversation with a stranger.
True. So yeah, so basically the fear of being rejected, the fear of being whatever, everyone is obsessed. Hey. It's not an addiction, video games. Yeah, it's an actual profession. So shut up, prof. You don't know what you're saying. But I would add to that even like the fear of not only being rejected, being categorized as a freak or like stalker or any other bullcrap. So yeah, you can add a lot of things to that.
But in this video, we're going to talk about why modern dating is as hard as it is and the distinctive eras that we have gone through that has led to the current situation. And then at the end of the video, I'm actually going to explain to you how you can stand out from 90% of others and how you can actually get dating results as a man or a woman by simply doing the thing that nobody else is willing to do. And it's not just going and starting a conversation with
Okay.
them. It's a little bit different than that. Let's jump into it. Now, obviously, people have been dating.
First of all, I'll definitely say that most likely this guy is selling a course, so I'll give him that. Second, I don't know, besides smiling, having some self-confidence and just taking risks, the worst thing that the person can say when you're approaching them is no. Other than that, what else? And if you didn't get used to the idea of getting a no as an answer, my friend, it is what it is. Move on. You're going to get no.
For hundreds, if not thousands of years. So this is nothing new, but there are 8 distinct stages of dating. And basically, we are now entering the 8th stage. And the 8th stage is going to last for another 10 to 20 years, I think, before the next stage. But let's go over some of the older ones. First, we have to look back to ancient times. And I know that sounds silly, but I just want you to imagine being a caveman right now. You're in a village with around 30 to 60 people. Right off the bat, 50.
I don't know why. The first thing that came to mind was the Flintstones and the image with them with the bats and hitting the woman in the head and pulling her in the cave. And it was like, yeah, go caveman. Don't do that now. You're going to go to jail. Just like behave, motherload.
50% of the population is going to be the opposite sex. So you have about 30 men and 30 women. Now, of those 30 women, half of them are going to be either older than you or younger than you. And of the remaining, half of those women are going to already be with somebody else. So essentially, out of your entire village, you're going to maybe have 4 or 5 girls that you could potentially get together with and have kids with. So your odds are very low. And the problem with this is you can't mess up, because if you are unsuccessful with one of these 4 women that are in your village, then you're not going to get another chance, because you have to stay with your community. You have to stay with your village. So if you embarrass yourself, if you injure yourself, or if you do something stupid and everybody in the village laughs at you, it's game over. This is why men have such extreme approach anxiety, because our brains are still operating as if we literally only had 4 shots our entire life at talking to a girl.
Exactly what I was saying. It's like, stop being scared of getting a no. It's like, we're not in that the same situation. We're not in my dad's village where he grew up, and like 3/4 of the whole village were relatives. So he's like, his pool of women was quite limited, so limited that most of the guys in the village had to go every freaking weekend to another village trying to approach women, and they had to get ready for combat. Basically, it was literally like survival mode of the of the young and retarded. He was telling me stories like going and preparing bats and leaving them next to the, I wouldn't even call it a club, but whatever it was then, and preparing like wires from one side of the road to the other side of the road at like knee level, because they already knew that the guys inside the club were gonna try and chase them because they're stealing their girls, basically, right? So they had already like combat strategy. Or say, okay, fine, we go first. You guys wait with the bats. Some of the weak ones start running. They jump over the wire. The guys come. They trip. Boom, boom, boom. So it's like, and this was like 40 years ago, but still cave mentality.
There are literally billions of women on the planet, but for some reason, guys have a problem going and talking to a girl they see at the grocery store or at the coffee shop. Why? Because we feel so much shame and anxiety and stress, thinking that if we get rejected by that one girl, we're never going to get a chance again, and everybody is going to shame us. But that just doesn't happen anymore. It's just that the reason that we think it's going to happen is because that's what happened in stage 1. AKA thousands of years ago when we lived in small tribes where there was only fucking 50 other people that we got to know our entire life. Like if you were in a tribe and you got rejected by a girl.
So I'm laughing. Why? Because basically, women, you have to understand, we're so primitive in our way of interacting with humans that we're still in the cave age, caveman era. We're that simple. Food, woman, kid, work, bum bum, done. Men are so easy to please.
Girl, everybody in the village is going to know about it. But who fucking cares? But we don't live in tribes anymore, so we don't have to worry about that. The problem is our brain still thinks we do. That's why we're so stupid.
You get viral on TikTok, man, if you don't take her the right date or something. That's the mentality that is stuck in men's head. And it's bullshit, because I suppose most of like normal women wouldn't do that kind of shit. But yeah, it's like the most aggressive ones get to go viral.
Okay, that kind of explains stage one and why we still act that way. Stage two was arranged marriage, neighbors, and families. So this is when our villages got a little bit bigger. We started to move into small towns of several hundred people, if not thousands of people. And you come from a family and your family trades with other families. So you guys are blacksmiths, they're farmers. Those guys, they grow a bunch of vegetables. Those guys are warriors. They go out and they are in the military or whatever. So again, you have all these different families that all share resources and trade with one another. And then naturally you have a young son and a young daughter. And since they're around the same age, you set them up, whether actually being like, hey, you have to marry this person, or they just hang out together because they're the same age, and then organically they meet that way.
It was like a business deal. You had that not only through like this kind of families, you had even for royal families as well. Yeah, and you still have arranged marriage in some cultures at the moment. So, and they're saying they're having it easier because they don't have to do most of the heavy work. They already know from a young age. It's like, yeah, I'm taken.
Is still very common in certain countries around the world. Some people disagree with it, but I actually know people that have met their partner in an arranged marriage and they're happy and they're content. But that was common for a very long time. And like I said, it wasn't always specifically arranged marriage, but basically like two families that know each other set up their kids that are the same age. And then through them just spending most of their young life together, they get to know each other. And then when they're both the right age, then they get together. Stage three was classmates and people in your hometown. Now, this is a big jump, okay? This was probably getting started around the 1900s because men and women for a long period of time were not allowed in the same classroom. In fact, oftentimes women weren't.
Oh yeah, but they didn't really have rights. They couldn't vote. They couldn't do that. You had only girls' school, men's school, everything separate.
Allowed in the classroom at all. So as soon as the classroom allowed both sexes, obviously it caused some problems, right? Because you have all these people that are trying to focus on school, but now they see the opposite sex. And once people started working together, they started meeting their partner at work. Now, obviously nowadays that doesn't apply as much.
Something that I completely do not recommend. I don't know. You do you, but I don't know if I would feel comfortable or if it's actually a good idea to work in the same place with your spouse. And I've seen some like spouses arguing at work. Man, those are the most aggressive arguments you can ever see in your life. And it's understandable because they're like 24/7. They're like this. At some point, you're gonna need either some breathing space or some sparkles that are gonna jump everywhere.
Because one, if you even look at a woman the wrong way, you get fired, you get Me Too'd, you're cooked. Your career is over, you're done. But there's just less people in that environment. The people are less social. A lot more people are wanting to work remote now. So
even drinking, like after work drinking, is kind of disappearing. So back in the day, frick it, like even 5-6 years ago, we used to go for drinks after work 2-3 times, 4 times a week. And it was freaking amazing. It was like having team building every freaking day, almost. And being a manager and still going with the guys for a pint or two, it was amazing for me because I could actually hear after a few beers exactly what the problems were or how they were seeing some problems. And I was like, okay, fine. I can we can tweak that, we can work on that. It was a really nice experience for me, and it just like relaxing wise, meeting people wise, and sorting out my manager problem things. And yeah, you ended up having some couples on the way as well. It happens.
It's just not as common as it used to be. But
No, not at all. Now it's not. I'm looking at my former team, and I see them sad.
But that was a big difference. The other one is just people in your hometown in general. So my grandparents, they met probably in the 40s or 50s, I want to say. And essentially they went to the same high school, but there was always a spot everybody would hang out after high school. It was like, I don't know, some kind of like bar that had ice cream and food. And that's where all the kids would go after school. So there was like a third place, a hangout spot in the hometown where everybody that age would go. And that's how my grandparents met. But like once you get into your early 20s, mid 20s, you don't necessarily stay in your hometown. You go away to university or college, or you move into the city, and that's where you leave that hometown. But
I'm trying to remember, but yeah, so for high school, yes, we did have a really cool place where everyone would meet from the same, let's say, group. It was by the Danube River, really nice, having a beer. I know it was illegal, just shut up different times. But it was really cool. But that was the hangout place, that where you could actually meet girls and so on. So, and it was quite free. So back in the day, like that's like 20 something years ago, you could actually literally go and talk to a woman. And like I said, I think you can do that now as well. It's the same thing. The worst thing that she can say is fucking no, and that's it. And you move on to the next and the next until someone says yes.
But the people that stay, those are the ones that usually end up settling down because they meet somebody else that's in the same situation as them, and they just end up staying there their whole life. So now we got era 4.
Yeah.
This is where you got bars and clubs. Now, at this point, women have been in the workplace for at least a decade or two. And I'm not talking about like general workplace, but like with a bang, okay? You know, you got all these corporate women with the shoulder pads and the big 80s, and all these women going into industries that didn't traditionally go into as well. So the market was just flooded with all these women in the workplace now, and they have money to spend, because now that women were earning sometimes more than men, depending what career they went into, all these women were empowered to go out and spend money and go and meet guys. And oftentimes they would even make the first move.
Ooh, yeah, and I have a nice story. I was chatting with some friends of mine, and they're together since high school. And she was telling me at some point that, I don't know, like 15 years ago, whenever they were going to a club or something, none of the women would actually even look at him, her boyfriend. She was feeling quite sad about it. It was like, man, no one is actually even checking out my boyfriend when we're going clubbing and so on. Over the past, I don't know, in the last 5-10 years, she's like, you know what? Now I'm changing on the other direction. I don't even want to let him go to the bar and order drinks for us, because by the time he gets to the bar, he gets at least one or two that actually jump on him to interact. Not like physically jump, but like, besides the fact that you have them checking him out, they're actually now going and directly approaching him. And she's like, you know what? I'm becoming jealous, which from my point of view, a bit of jealousy, it's okay. But just as long as you don't take it in extremes. But he's completely freaking right on this one. So in the past 15, 20 years, things have changed quite a lot. If until 15 years ago, 20 years ago, the man usually was the one having to take the first move, now, yeah, they're changing. And I think they're going to change even more, and that's going to be forced in a way by the way men are reacting at the moment.
Because if you were a woman back in the day and you were introverted or shy, then no guy would ever meet you. So if you stayed at home and you didn't start a conversation first, you're basically off the market. Nowadays, there's dating apps, so you can have your cake and eat it too if you're a woman. But back in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't like that. So women actually put more of an effort in. Now, this is when people would go to bars. And obviously, you got the bar culture, party culture. People would go to the local bar, they'd get drunk. This is where you'd go to meet girls, hit on women. And this is where women would go to meet guys as well. And that became the big thing for years. You also got concerts, festivals, and that was pretty much the era, the 80s and 90s. Now, the next era was
the golden age of dating. And for me, even though I don't look that old, and I am not that old, what I've realized in the recent period anyway, what I've realized is me growing up in Romania, everything was a bit delayed compared to America, let's say. So whatever young dudes were experimenting and finding out in the 80s and 90s, I ended up experimenting when I became a teenager and later on. So we were quite a few decades behind. So I caught the same age that the old folks from America got a while back.
Era 5, and this was social circles. So now you're meeting
Ooh.
girls at work, you're meeting girls at bars, at clubs, but also you're building a much more dynamic friend group. Because up until really like the 80s or 90s, most people hung out with the same people their whole lives. We were like mini cavemen. We lived in the same neighborhood, we lived in the same town, we'd hang out mostly with family members or best friends that were our neighbors growing up, and maybe a couple coworkers. But in the 90s,
and you wouldn't even change your job most of the times, especially in that period. You would have expected, like, you start, you get a job, and big chances you're gonna end up retiring at that job. That was like, yeah, so you ended up like basically like a caveman. So no matter what, we end up as men, we end up in the situation of being a caveman. That's okay.
90s and early 2000s, all of a sudden people started getting out of their initial social circle and joining more. And this is because of materialism, consumerism.
Oh, yes.
All of a sudden, the fucking TV exploded with ads for hobbies, products, trips, destinations, and people started spending more money on experiences. People started spending more money in general, which put them outside of their hometown, which put them outside of their normal social circles, because there was just more things to do. And as there's more activities, you start to get more friends until the point where you actually have a large social circle. And throughout your social circle, you meet the friends of your friends, and that usually leads to relationships. And this is still very popular now, especially in university. You usually have a bunch of friends that are guys around the same age as you, and one or two of them has a girlfriend, and then their girlfriend has a bunch of friends, and then you guys all hang out together, and then over time, you become attracted to each other, and that's how you get into a relationship, right? It's through social circles. After that was a very distinct era that was called the pickup and cold approach era. Now, I want to say this was like early.
And wait, and we're now in stage 8. Man.
2000s. I was a kid, so I don't really actually remember the golden age or whatever. But basically, a bunch of guys wrote some books that explained how you can learn human psychology, you can become confident, you can develop a certain personality and use certain lines or tactics and attract women you've never met before. And even thinking about it that way, it sounds kind of bizarre, right? Like, yeah, right, dude. That makes no sense. But essentially, these guys would go out and they'd meet strangers and they'd make women attracted to them. And then they wrote books on it. There was videos. This was a whole era where you could like actually learn this as a skill, because before this, you.
But even now, you have like dating coaches and all of this kind of crap, right? I don't know. It's like when I first moved to London, one of my flatmates, he was volunteering for a dating coach, and they would basically go around the world. The guy was doing meetups and all of this kind of things, and he was teaching dudes, probably what the ones that he was talking about at the beginning, the 50% that never approached a woman in their lives. And he was the dating guru. He was teaching the guys how to interact with women, how to make the first step, how to gain some confidence in themselves, and all of this kind of things. And from what they were telling me, after each meeting and each class, let's call it like that, they used to go to a pub, and the teacher, the mighty dating guru, used to show off his skills and trying to pick up girls, making the guys. It's like, you know what? Come on, it's your turn. Go try. You get to know it is what it is. Go try another one, and so on. So this was what, like 10 years ago? It's not that. Yeah, 10 years ago.
Either meet the girl in high school or at work or at the local bar, and that's it. But now you got these guys teaching you how to walk up to a complete stranger, start conversations with them. So this was a massive era. And I think that so many guys were grateful for this, because not everybody comes from money. Not everybody has a group of friends back home. Not everybody even has a job. Some people, they run their own business. So to be able to learn a skill where you can go and talk to strangers and start from scratch, essentially, was a massive game changer. No pun intended. And that became the way to meet women. Just walk up and talk to them, right? Now, the problem with this is that things got a little too extreme. And then we had the Me Too era, where essentially laws were introduced in countries where if you're a man, you're basically cooked no matter what. Whether you're innocent, whether you did it or not, just
In England, there's that commercial. Man, I don't know. Okay, fine. I'll let this guy talk, and maybe I'll find the commercial. But bottom line for the commercial is, dude and dudette, they go out in town, they meet, they have a drink, they go home. Dude and dudette have sex. They wake up in the morning. If dudette said that she didn't consent, dude is screwed. It doesn't matter that they were drinking together. It doesn't matter they were laughing together. It doesn't matter if they had sex together. So, yeah, you are
just
screwed.
the fact that you're a man and a woman said, oh, he did this to me or he harassed me, you're done. Your life is pretty much over. So a lot of guys got terrified about this. And we've seen this the last couple of years, really bizarre laws in certain countries. And this has just made so many guys be like, you know what? I don't want to risk it. I don't want to fucking be that guy that has his life ruined over something that didn't actually happen. But at the same time, a lot of us just became antisocial because of the introduction of social media, which is ironic, right? It's called social media, but it's actually anti-social media. Now everybody's playing video games. You're on Instagram several hours per day. Facebook is a thing. You know what's funny? Zuckerberg created Facebook to see if the girls that he knew at his school were single or not. It's so fucking hilarious that that ended up becoming what was Facebook, the game changer of all social media. So now,
what saves me and still saves me is the fact that I don't use social media. I think it's destroying people. I think it's destroying their perception about themselves, their perception about society, and it's basically isolating. I've seen so many dates, like actual dates, where they're not actually looking at each other, they're not talking to each other, they're just staring at that freaking piece of shit in their hand. Maybe they even, oh, look, darling, look what post I've seen. This is so fun. Oh, fudge, come on, man. Or they're texting each other while they're sitting at the same table. I've seen that, and I was like, I want to take their phones and smash them. It's like, that's why we're not multiplying anymore. That's why we don't end up having more kids. It's like, because we're all stuck in Instagram and Facebook.
Now everybody's meeting online,
TikTok.
but more importantly, everybody's spending their time online. More time online, less time in person with others. So this is where the shift started to happen, where people stopped going up and talking to strangers, because why would you need to do that if you could just be on your phone all the time? And that was the dating app era. I remember I was in high school and Tinder came out and everyone's like, holy shit, there's an app where you can just put a photo up and then get hookups. It was the craziest thing ever. I didn't believe it. I was like, man, this is amazing.
Never tried.
And then over time, this became more and more popular because they actually used to work. Like, you actually used to be able to have a 50-50 ratio. You just send a message and boom, you meet up with somebody. But then over time, it became oversaturated. You know why? Because men are so fucking horny and we're so competitive that we had to try and game the system. We had to try and get better. We'd be willing to send 2 messages in a row, 3 messages. And the apps, they picked up on this and they're like, oh, if you pay us money, we'll get you better results. So at that point, now you got guys just using dating apps combined with using social media, and essentially everybody stopped leaving their house. Everybody stopped wanting to put themselves in uncomfortable situations to talk to strangers for the first time, because you could just download an app and everything is done for you. And that's like the Uber Eats era, right? Why cook? Why go to the grocery store? Why even leave your house if you could just order delicious food right to your door? That's kind of what happened with dating apps. As soon as Schmovid hit, everything got even more extreme, because literally people weren't allowed to leave their house. So now the only way people could meet each other.
During Schmovid, there was a thing here, just like with keep the distance, keep 2 meters, and so on. And there were like posters with keep 2 meters distance from each other, and there was a written comment underneath. It's like, I would love to, but my wheel is definitely not that long. So men were really suffering. I don't know about women, but men were suffering as hell in that period.
Is through online dating. And this became even more of a gong show. Now, as Schmovid ended, everybody has still carried the baggage from it, and is still super socially awkward to the point where they don't want to be that guy that goes and talks to strangers. They don't even want to build a new social circle. And that's why content like this is so popular right now. If you go on YouTube, there's literally millions of videos with millions of views on angry men talking about how easy life is for women and how once women hit 30, they're washed up and like all this just negative energy and complaining. Meanwhile, it's dudes in the comment section just complaining.
So this is, but this is like from 3 months ago. Okay. Fine.
Complaining all the time. And look, women complain too. They're equally as annoying. But basically, guys are clueless when it comes to dating. They want to point the finger at women. You know, it's human psychology.
It's always easier to point the finger at someone else. And I've noticed this as well with like most of the content that I see, it's either from really angry women or really angry men, or men that got toasted super bad, women that got toasted super bad. It's a bit sad though.
Psychology, right? Us versus them. It's not man's fault, it's women's fault, right? Guys eat this shit up, and videos like that get hundreds of thousands of views. But essentially, it's just reinforcing this behavior that dating is fucked, women are awful, and they're all the same. And, you know, again, the problem is the 10% of women that are super annoying and frustrating, they are the ones that say the things that get the most viral. So when you...
Exactly what I was saying. I like this dude. Bro, we think alike a lot.
Go on YouTube, it makes it seem like every woman is like texting 10 different guys, is a huge hoe, is super annoying, liberal, wants a guy that's like 6'5" and makes $1 million a year. Most women aren't like that. Those are the videos that get the views. So it actually makes guys delusional and think that all modern women are awful, but they're actually not. The same way.
I think the same thing happens to women as well, because they look at dudes like Andrew Tate and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And I'm not judging the guy, whatever, blah blah. But they look at those kind of videos like, okay, so all dudes are like this. That's all they want. They just want to and go away, or they want to use me and abuse me, or they want to whatever. Oh, and after that we had the great apparition of OnlyFans. Another one.
Modern women think that most modern men are complete incels. It's just this big toxic swamp, and that's the problem. Dating apps and cold approach and social media has led to this giant fucking, you know, melting pot of shit on the internet where everybody's confused, scared, and lonely. Now it's time for the new era, the socializing era. So this is a word that I popularized. I don't think I created it, but essentially the whole point I'm making with most of my content is that everything in life comes down to social skills. Not game, it's not pickup, it's socializing. And literally, you can get ahead of 90% of men if you can just start a conversation with a stranger, be fun to listen to, make eye contact, have good body language.
But these are the hardest things to do at the moment. You know why? Because people in general have forgotten how to do that. Everyone is a freaking introvert at the moment. And or everyone has ADHD, or they're introverts. It is what it is. So looking someone in their eyes, actually smiling like a natural smile, not like it's getting harder and harder. And it's not only for dating that I recommend. He's completely right with socializing. But it's not only for dating that socializing, I think, will be really important. You're going to have a lot of jobs that are going to be taken in the next 5, 10, 15 years by robots, by AI, by all of this kind of things. So what are the things that are going to be harder to replace? Social skills. So that's what you either learn how to be a professional gamer, but either you learn how to be a coder or something like that, but you're using AI already for coding. So whatever you do, work on your social skills. Might help with dating as well.
Have a group of friends that you can go and do things with. Have the energy and be willing to put yourself in a situation where you might be uncomfortable in order to meet somebody new. And this is something I've helped thousands of clients with. Literally, I got photos on the screen of all the guys I've helped get into loving relationships with.
I told you he has a course. Everyone has a course.
Attractive women, build social circles, make friends, and step out of their comfort zone by using this one cool trick that doctors hate, which is literally becoming a good speaker, becoming your authentic self, and then learning some strategies and tactics that allow you to have interesting conversations and approach people that you don't know. The problem is so many of you guys are completely shell-shocked. You're living in your room. You don't approach and talk to women. You think that women are terrifying. You don't have any friends besides the guys you went to high school with. You don't feel confidence in your job because you don't actually like what you do. And you're consuming content for 4 or 5 hours a day. If that sounds like you, comment down below. Damn it, Denmo, you got me again. But that's just the truth. So,
okay, it's not me, but go check his link, his video. Not wait until we finish this live stream or this video, and after that, go check his YouTube channel. Go comment if you're that guy, or let me know in my comments as well. Go check his courses. If he can help you find your amazing God, man, go for it. If you think that he's gonna help you with socializing skills, go wild. But yeah, if you're healthy, if you're okay with yourself, just get out of your freaking room, man. You don't like your job, just change your freaking job while you still can. Don't let things like this ruin your life.
So my approach is different. Become valuable, become interesting to listen to. Learn how to make people feel good when you speak to them. Make them want to listen to your words. Become good at listening to them as well. And when you develop this charisma, when you develop this ability to make people feel good when you're around them, they want to spend more time with you. Now, if you take this skill set that you have now acquired over time, maybe you watch my videos or you join Socializer School, which is my program where I help busy professionals to level up their social skills and then get into a relationship in 30 to 60 days. If you're interested in that, working with me directly, you can click the link in the description below. Once you've gone through this process, now you just follow the step-by-step formula that I lay out in my program where you can actually fit.
But is this kind of thing doing exactly what the dating coaches were doing before, or this is kind of we're gonna go from one extreme to another extreme to another extreme.
Time in your schedule to go out and be social, to make a new friend group, to talk to girls in public places, to get leads. When you go to events, you can actually start conversations with people. You can talk to groups. You can walk in there and have people look at you by how you carry yourself. And then once you actually do meet these people, you know how to talk to them. You know how to text them. You know how to go on dates. You know how to make women attracted to you and want to actually date you. There's all these different layers. But most guys are content just thinking that they can stay at home and eventually somebody else is going to solve the problem. But life doesn't work like that. See, the problem is those are the best videos to watch. And those are the videos that do the best. The videos that make you feel like it's not your fault. We can point the finger and blame.
That's normal psychology. It's like everything is like, it doesn't matter. Everything that is bad, the clickbait titles, the clickbait thumbnails, all of that crap, everything that is like bad, scary, blah, 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 the Neanderthal, the caveman brain jumps in and is like, danger, I need to figure it out. If it's danger, I click. And if you end up watching all of this crap, because of course the algorithm is going to serve you like butter, bam, 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 you're going to end up losing confidence in yourself. You're going to like, what's the point of even trying? Because I know she's not going to be impressed because I work at McDonald's or whatever. It is what it is.
Blame it on women, blame it on the economy, blame it on Schmovid, blame it on whatever, right? But the truth,
I will blame it on Schmovid, but I'll tell you on what. Not for the generations that we have now. It's for the future generation, the ones that were like kids in their first years during Schmovid, and they weren't allowed to interact with other kids their age. And I think that's a big problem in their development, like social skills and development. And the second one that I still think that there is a major issue. He agrees or he doesn't agree, is the fact that you have more and more single mothers raising their children. And like it or not, I think that you do need both parents, or not necessarily both parents per se, but both genders in a relationship, or equivalent of both genders, before everyone jumps on me.
The truth of the matter is, socializing is an inherent good feeling that you get when you spend time with others And it is a skill that is literally make or break for dating success. And the only way for you to get better at it is by putting yourself out there and talking to others. And literally 50% of men are unable to do it. They just refuse to put themselves out of their comfort zone. And guess what? That's why their bloodline's not going to continue. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but if you have to hide behind a dating app, if you can't even go and talk to a woman and
You know what's gonna happen? Oh, this is so. If you haven't seen Idiocracy, go and see Idiocracy. And you're gonna have like the beginning of the video. They're explaining how we ended up in Idiocracy and so on. So you had like the smart people, the smart couple, prioritizing career and so on, and they end up not having any kids. I don't remember if divorcing and so on. And you have the dung dung, low IQ, really high confidence, smashing everything that he encounters, making like 20 kids. The kids, of course, are gonna be dung dung, and they're gonna go and interact with as many people, women as possible, and they multiply their bloodline to oblivion, and we end up with idiocracy. And this is exactly what I see happening at the moment. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm trying not to be pessimistic in general, but I think if we carry on the line that we are at the moment, we might end up with a weird dumbass combination between Idiocracy and some episodes of Black Mirror. And that's quite sad, but yeah, it's still avoidable. And learn how to socialize. I really think it's going to be an amazing skill. That's what I'm trying to teach my kid as well.
in real life, if you can't find a new social circle or make a new friend, then you're going to be left behind. And I'm saying this with love. I don't want you to be left behind. I don't want you to do this, but maybe me being hard on you right now makes you realize like, wow, I do have control of my life. I do have control of my dating results, but I'm just watching videos on YouTube that make me feel better and justify my lack of effort and action. So as savage as that sounds, the era right now is socializing. I see it becoming much more popular. There's all kinds of events where others are literally gathering just because the elephant in the room is nobody hangs out anymore. So there's run clubs, for example. A lot of run clubs are basically ways for people to just date because so many of us are so starved of human interaction and we don't want to use dating apps and we don't want to go to the club and we don't want to drink. So there's like a healthy mechanism where you can go and meet people. You also have singles events, you have networking events, you have literal hobbies.
Okay, with the singles events, I don't know if you've ever been to one or have you been recently to a singles event, because I haven't been to any of those either. But from what I understood, there seems to be a problem now because men are not even going to those. And yeah, that's. Well, I think at the end of the day, we're still going towards what I said today. No one's coming to rescue you. So get off your couch, get off your ass, get out of the living room or the bedroom or wherever you're hiding, and go and meet people.
Classes, groups, and clubs you can join where other people that have the same interests as you also are looking to meet new people. There's like so many opportunities, but the problem is men are just so insecure, so anxious, so scared, and so isolated, and nobody's holding you accountable. Because if you could do it on your own, you would have done it by now, but you can't. And that's why guys succeed when they join groups or communities. So I have my private community, Socializer School. I have courses, weekly Q&As. You can ask me questions directly. You get access to actual videos of me approaching and talking to girls in real life, so you can see how I do it.
What was I saying at the beginning? We chat, we interact. I tell you how it works, and after that you see me going and trying, and after that you try. And basically, this is a different version of a dating guru. But yeah, he does. He has some valid points. I'll give him that.
Step by step, and literally hundreds of hours of video. And in the first couple of weeks, we focus on.
I'm gonna be an ass again. So basically, he's telling you to stop watching, spending 4 or 5 hours on social media or whatever. Instead, swap it where loads of hours of video with his classes. As long as it gets you off your couch at some point.
On the trauma, the mental health issues, the low self-esteem, and the lack of confidence that you have. because that's what the real problem is. The real problem is not dating. The real problem is not like how
Yeah, he's completely right on this one. So yeah.
tricky and challenging dating is. The real problem is that you don't respect yourself and you don't like yourself. And because of that, you feel like you aren't actually you when you're around women. And that might not be what you wanted to hear, but it's what you needed to hear. The way that guys feel better about themselves is short-term dopamine. You're essentially avoiding the problems that you have and should confront because it's hard. So you already know what to do. Watching another video is not going to help. But what will help is you putting some money down, because once you actually spend money on something, you're actually going to show up. You're actually going to want to get your money's worth. It's like booking a trip. Everybody says they want to travel. Everybody says they want to move somewhere. But until they book that flight and book that Airbnb or accommodation, they ain't going anywhere. And that's how.
Are you freaking kidding me, man? No, I used to be. At some point, they were calling me Mr. Holiday. It's like, even if, let's say, I couldn't afford or I didn't want to take like really long holidays, but at least once a month, every 2 months, I was disappearing somewhere. Oh, let's go to Tenerife. Oh, surfing, man, let's go. Go Barcelona. Why? I don't know. It's a football game. Valley, but you don't like football. I don't care. Loads of people, loads of alcohol, happy days. Man, I was going. You just want, you need to want it. If you want it, you're going to do it. You're going to make it happen. It's set your goals, reach for the sky, move on.
How guys are with dating too. They say they want to get dating results, but as soon as a course or a community, an opportunity to actually get the results you want comes up, you're like, actually, I'll just watch another YouTube video. I'm not going to.
That was a cool pitch for upselling his course, though. I like that. That was like good salesman. Yeah.
Join that community. I don't need that. Well, I think you do. And I've helped thousands of people do it. And again, the biggest difference maker between why my clients get results versus the guys on YouTube that just watch videos for free is that they have accountability. In the group, I give you homework, challenges, and other people to make sure that you actually do the goals that you said that you would. There's assignments. Each week, you have to fill out materials. You have to do a certain number of approaches. You have to.
Shit, he gives you homework.
Actually block all the websites on your computer that are taking your time every day. You're not allowed to watch YouTube videos randomly anymore. It's like university. There's assignments, there's projects, and then there's exams. That's how I structured my course. And you also have weekly Q&As. So that way, if you're a fucking idiot and you don't do your work all week, then we're going to call you out on it. And if
you... Ooh, that was... Okay, so he gives you assignments, he gives you tests, he gives you everything. Cool. I think that's about it, no?
You continue.
I just remembered something that was freaking weird and pissed me off, on the line of what I was saying about the new generation that is coming and how massively things have changed. Sorry. My kid is 6.5. And I think I raised them as so what? Oh, let's see. Why do you want to date? I don't care about that anymore. Most women aren't worth it, and the good ones are already taken. Not all of them. Trust me, there's always someone that wants to date, and not all of them are screwed over. I'm more scared for the next generations, man, and the effect that even society and schools have on it. So my kid is 6.5. And I raised them as a gentleman, open doors, laugh, say hello, good morning. I have a teacher that complained to me that he showed inappropriate behavior. I was like, okay, what did he pull it out in front of the class, or what did he do? No, it was one of the girls' birthday. She gave them candy. He went and he hugged her and told her happy birthday and tried to kiss her on the cheek. And because of that, I was told that my son is showing inappropriate behavior. Man, it's her birthday. It's a hug. It's like, this is what pisses me off, because this is how we're training our kids and we're destroying them in a way. And yeah, I get what you're saying, John. Yeah, you have like women that aren't worth it. True. That's why you have to figure out what are the red flags and chop it off really early. But that doesn't mean they're all like that. Exactly like if you listen to all the women that are going to say that all the men are assholes. Some of us are, definitely. That's what I told the teacher as well. Exactly my point. But we're pretty much destroying the new generations. So I still have hope because, like I told you, I think you still have amazing women out there and you still have amazing dudes out there. Unfortunately, this dude is completely right. Most dudes kind of lost their confidence, lost interest, and they're just enjoying their beer. Actually, no, they don't even drink anymore, man. They're enjoying their vegan flat abs on the couch, playing Counter Strike or whatever they're playing at the moment. And as long as they don't move off their ass and they don't go out in the real world, then practice socializing and interacting with humans, they're screwed. And I know sex robots are coming, everything's gonna be okay. There was that thing in America where you had people paying for AI dating. You even have Grok. I don't know if I still have freaking battery on my phone. So you have Grok now. This is the AI from X, and you can actually talk to the AI, and you have argumentative. So if you want to argue with someone like you're in a relationship, you can do that with the AI, and you have romantic. So let's see how that sounds. I didn't try it. Let's see. Hi. Oh, this is gonna be weird.
Hey there. Yeah, it's a little strange at first, huh? I'm just chilling here, evening vibes and all. What's on your mind tonight?
I need to change your voice because it's weird. I need Ara. Let's see with Ara. Hey Ara. Let's see if that works. It was a bit weird with the dude, but you can literally now just chat with an AI like you're in a relationship. And there was a yeah, I know that's a dude. I know there was a case with a woman that was feeling like she's cheating on her husband because she was basically having a relationship with the AI. So it's like things are getting weirder and weirder. Ara, how are you, baby?
Oh, weird's just the universe keeping us on our toes, right? I'm good. Thanks for asking, sweetheart. How about you? How's your evening going so far?
Amazing.
Glad to hear it, honey. What's making your evening so amazing? Spill the tea.
Okay, so we're already on the honey basis. I like it. No, we're just trying to learn how to socialize again. Apparently, 50% of men don't even have the guts to interact with a woman.
Yeah, honey just slipped out. Guess I'm feeling comfy with you already. That's wild about the 50% thing, though. Socializing's tricky these days, huh?
Okay, this crap is gonna keep so many dudes not moving from their freaking couch. It's freaking scary. Now imagine if you have actual improvements in robots and softness and all that crap, and you add this shit in the robot. We're toasted. Elon Musk is right, man. We're not multiplying anymore. So I don't know. John, what do you think? Do we have a chance? I really think that people have to move off their ass, be more positive, and just enjoy life. And on that note, I actually have to go as well. John, thank you for joining. Saad as well. Guys, it's been amazing. You want to check this guy's course? Go and check it out. He's a socializing guru. Actually, wait. Before I go, let's see some comments because those are like the important parts. No, we're doomed. It's game over. No, it's not. It's not game over. Never. It's like, you know what's scary? So gamers love what? The challenge. You want to finish the challenge, you want to go to the next level, next boss, and so on. Just use the same freaking mindset in real life. And that's it. Take a challenge as it is. But let's see the comments, because that's where everything gets even gloomier and gloomier. Divorce and losing half your money is no joke. having the police show up when a woman lies on you is no joke. Ooh, I almost got in problems with HR because, and I think I said this before, one of my waitresses was making claims that I'm behaving like an animal and so on. And after further discussions with cameras and microphones and everything, she basically acknowledged that I was the only manager telling her how to do her job properly. So I do get that part when a woman is gonna say shit just to put you in a lot of trouble just because she knows she has that power, especially towards HR. So I'm still positive, so it's fine. And that's why you can record shit at the moment, just to play it safe. Social media ruined dating and relationships as a whole. With this, I do agree. And I feel lucky that I never used, I'm not using, and I'm not planning on using them. My kid is basically not allowed to watch YouTube. He's not allowed to watch a lot of things. Well, what's that crap game? Roblox. Maybe it's interesting to look at the company and buy shares in Roblox, but what? Yes. Let me see. What are you saying? Yeah, but you can shut down a computer. You can lower the volume. You can reprogram it. You can't do that with a woman. They don't have a manual. That's what makes it more interesting. Every day is different. But you can change the model from time to time. If one model is not okay, just change it, start all over again. I'm single for a reason at the moment. It's like, I've been through a breakup recently. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna say, okay, that's it, all women are shit, and maybe I was perfect. No, in a couple you have two people, and usually both of them screw it up. It's, you move on, you learn from your mistakes, you figure out what was wrong. It's okay, man. Being single is not a disease. It's not like the plague or something. What I would recommend, if you do get out of a relationship, take some time for yourself, be single for a while, and then sort your shit out, see what's going on, and after that, start dating again. But that doesn't mean don't socialize while you're single. Still meet with friends, meet with people. It's interact. Don't lose your skills, like the socializing skills. 3 things that immediately changed how women responded to me. I stopped chasing them. Very true. Most women that I actually picked up were the ones that when I didn't say anything, I completely ignored them, or I was so drunk that I couldn't even speak. So there's like that. That's when I had more and more results. I read The Shadow Game of Attraction. Okay, fine. I stopped trying to impress people who who weren't even worth my time. This one with trying to impress people and being a people pleaser, I think a lot of people have to understand that it always backfires, because they will notice, especially women. They will completely notice if you, yeah, bro, 26 years, it's a bit too long, man. Just snap out of it. It's okay. It's not gonna bite, or even if it bites, you can run away. Yeah, people pleasing, it's usually backfiring, and you're not going to feel okay, and definitely everyone else is going to be quite against you on that as well. Question: why aren't men approaching women anymore? They never get a return on their investment. Oh, that sounds good, but a relationship shouldn't be a freaking investment. And that's valid for women as well. They're like, if you see a woman that only all her goals are like, oh, you need to take me on trips, you need to take me there, you need to give me those kind of diamonds, those kind of gifts, maybe move on. It's okay. You can always turn. You know what? It's 2025. Even men are allowed to say, "Bitch, please." It's fine. I'm just saying. Turning 32 tomorrow. I haven't had a friend or a girl in over 5 years. Oh shit. It's eerie how you just get numb to the loneliness. Hmm. It helps if you're good with yourself as well. If you like yourself, you can go out for decades. I have a friend who's been single for the past 10, 15 years. One of the happiest people I know. But he's still socializing, so that I think that helps. He was playing. Wait, what was he being? This guy was saying about running clubs. My friend was doing Pokemon, so he was going for Pokemon Go. So every time they were having like 1, 2, 3 meetings a week, and he was socializing with 20, 30 people, and you had like couples, women, men, didn't matter, different ages, different. And I was like, okay, I never thought about joining Pokemon Go, the game, to socialize with people in real life. But apparently you can do that. And it's free of charge. It's fine. It makes you walk as well. So it's good for your personal fitness. So it's win-win for everybody. They aren't worth it anymore. Women today use men like toilet paper. Is it double or triple layer? And so we're stopped jumping through pointless hoops. Again, I'll say this. People who comment usually are the ones that are broken or got burned. I'm sorry to say that, John. I hope you're not. There's always more chances, man. Just talk to girls, bro. That's basically this video in a nutshell. Dude, do you think men haven't tried that? The women can order a guy she finds attractive from her phone, like ordering a pizza. Yeah. I think there was a thing about that with women are the ones that have the power in dating apps. They're the ones that can do most of the swiping. You know what's weird? Is like I see all of this kind of comments, and I don't know when was I've just gotten out of a relationship recently, but even during the relationship, it happened going on a trip back home in Romania. I went to a bar with my friends, and I ended up a girl tried to pick me up in the bar. I wasn't interested. Nothing happened. I moved on. I didn't cheat on my partner. That's fine. But it proves that it's okay. It's still doable. It's still so. All of this kind of comments are from people who really got burned, and I'm sorry for them. But that doesn't mean that you have to actually close the door to your bedroom and just order butter and moisturizer for the rest of your life. There are alternatives. And she offered to buy me a drink, so I wasn't even spending anything. Just saying. And I'm not that good looking. I'm not giving myself a high standards or something like a high score. Just talk to girls. Okay, fine. Both men and women need social skills. Humanity needs freaking social skills. You're always going to see this camp, the camp woman, the camp man, and all of these things. But it's about humanity in general. Women are socially awkward too, and most women get away with being with being socially awkward by being antisocial, mean, and uninterested. Yes, it's in their right. Just because you see a woman talking to her friends doesn't mean she knows how to be sociable with other people outside of her circle. I've actually seen women acting better with people like friends than with their partner. Like literally, it's like they were treating their partner like shit, but treating strangers on the street with more smiles and more whatever, helping people with whatever they needed and so on. So yeah, you have that. It happens. It is what it is. That's why I'm saying you need to check out the red flags. I'm not paying full price for a product that dozens of other guys got for a bourbon and Coke. So I need to laugh. I can't stop. What was the other one? Why should I buy the whole cow if I can just order the milk online? COVID plus social media, millionaires, plus Tinder, plus TikTok. Perfect swarm of hell. Yes, with this one, I freaking agree. So Oh, I heard that women like humor, so I told her, do you know why women bleed every month? Because they deserve it. She didn't like it that much. Wait, yeah, they like most women don't really like my humor either, so I got you on that one. I'm with you on this. This is like old style jokes are not really acceptable at the moment. Even my greeting, so it's like I started with welcome and welcome back, you lovely mother and father lovers, just so I can try to be as inclusive as possible, because I accept and love everyone. That is a joke, and I did get it, man. It's really cool, and I do understand why she wouldn't find it funny. I'm still laughing because of your joke, though. Um, there are no. What pisses me off with women in general is because they're always complaining. So, but I still think that we got the shorter straw because they're always like, "Oh, man, pee standing up." Yeah, man, but you guys got multiple orgasms, and you're still so sour about it that you refuse to get them anyway for most of your lives. So it's like they got the win, but they're not using the prize either. This is annoying. It is what it is. I have to work 10 times harder than my grandfather just to have the chance of attracting women who are 10 times less than my grandmother. Honestly, tell me, Jack, how is it worth it? Bro, even I'm not even going to go on the grandfather and grandmother age, but I'm thinking about my mom and the moms that the women from their generation, the fact that they were having to take care of the kids. It was already the period when women had to actually start working and provide as well part of the expenses in the family. Uh, but still, they were had to do all of the cleaning, do all of the taking care of the kids. You didn't have freaking washing machines or shit like that, so nappies and all of that crap. You had to do them by hand. Feed the man, clean the man, obey the man, go to work, shut up. Some of them were getting smacked as well, and that was perfectly normal. If you would have said, "Oh, he smacked me," probably he was right. So it's like different, completely different mentality, and that was like communist and post-communist Romania. So it's like weird shit. It's still, I think, women were complaining less than now. On that note, I actually give it to him with the grandfather and the grandmother. It's the quality, but on that note, the quality of men kind of decreased as well. So we can't let them take all of the blame. And the last one for tonight. The pain in my heart is unbearable. Oh, this is from a woman. This should be good. My husband leaving our marriage has put a ton in my heart. I have been telling myself I am strong enough, but I'm not sure if I am. I haven't been able to get him off my mind. I just want him back. So why are you telling this in a comment? Just call the mother lover. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Yes, just so everyone knows, this is a joke. Yeah, don't take it personal. It is a joke. Ooh, John, thank you for the jokes, man. You're welcome every time. I enjoy them. If anyone has a problem with John's jokes, we don't care. Move on. Get along. Get outside. Yes, bottom line, women have more rights at the moment than men. I know I'm always making fun of my normal friends that I finally have more rights because I'm disabled. But until now, even a Chihuahua had more rights than me. So I do understand how that feels. As fortunately for me, I'm disabled now, so I finally have some rights. Chihuahua can't beat me anymore. And socializing is important. If you do want to check out this dude's, what's the name, Denmo, if you want to check out his YouTube channel, his courses, and so on, he's going to teach you how to socialize. Have the link in the description. John, thanks again for everything, man. Thanks for joining. And enjoy life. It's short, can still be beautiful. Just you have to get off your ass and move. Have a good night. Love you.